The brown house snake. True to its name, frequents human dwellings where it feeds on rodents, lizards, and bats. It is completely harmless and relies on muscle power to constrict its prey. It is widespread in South Africa and very common in suburban gardens. The snake is active at night and relatively slow moving. Most individuals are medium to dark brown with a mother of pearl belly and two light lines on either side of the head, one from the nose through to the top of the eye to the back of the head, and the other from the back of the eye to the angle of the jaw. This is one of the most gentle snakes you can encounter, and a true African legend that has inspired many to love and respect these incredible animals.
Today we're looking for the brown house snake, my favorite snake as a child. If I could find any snake living here in southern Africa, it would be the brown house snake. I kept many as pets. I've rescued thousands of them over the years. They are just a spectacular constricting snake. They almost look like a small python. Very beautiful snake, very placid and gentle by nature, and we're trying to hunt down a nice big specimen. Here in an area that's famous for its archaeological sites, so we're just patrolling, looking. It's a nice overcast day, getting quite late in the afternoon. It's quite a good time other than night time, because they're normally a nocturnal animal, but they do come out during the day if it's overcast. So we're going to try and hunt down the most beautiful non-venomous snake that you can find in South Africa. We'll see if we can be lucky today. Got a little red lip. Let me bring it down quickly. Not quite what I was looking for. Actually on the hunt for a brown house snake, but found a tiny baby red-lipped herald snake. Spectacular, right here on the mountainside in the foresty fynbos section with the ocean on the left-hand side. This is a beautiful little frog hunting snake. I'll do another episode on these guys. They can get quite big, to about 1 meter in length. So I'm not going to focus too much on the small, because our hunt today is the brown house snake. But what a spectacular little animal this snake is. Probably only about 1 year old. You see how small this little guy is. That is a beautiful little snake. And it's got that little orangey red lip underneath where it gets its common name, the red-lipped herald snake. And these guys hunt frogs and even though they hunt frogs and toads predominantly, they have been recorded taking other things like small mammals. But they are frog hunting snake. And what is quite unique about them is they've got back fangs, just like the highly venomous boomslang, but the venom that they produce is only toxic for small animals like frogs and toads. So if the snake had to bite me now, there would be almost no pain or nothing. A little bit of bleeding, but nothing more than that. A spectacular little snake, and actually acting very gentle. Normally they put on quite a big display, but this little snake is not angry at all today. Look at him sniffing me. Cute, man. They always come and sniff you, these little snakes. A real pleasant little animal, one of the most common snakes found throughout southern Africa. And I'm quite fortunate to find them. They like to hide under rocks and stuff like it was doing now during the daytime. Sometimes when it's overcast like it is today on a rainy day, they will come out hunting for frogs and toads. But he was sleeping under a rock. I'm going to go return him and we'll continue our hunt for the brown house snake. go to one of the pinnacle points of mankind, the Makeys River Archaeological Site. This place is perfect to look for snakes, and maybe even a house snake, since this is one of the original homes of mankind. So we're going to walk around here. I've spent quite a lot of time here. I've tracked everything from night adders to puff adders to red lip snakes to olive snakes, everything in this area. So there's definitely a big chance to find a house snake. A lot of little cracks to hide here, and it's a perfect place for snakes and all kinds of animals to come and shelter. I'm quite privileged to be able to walk around here, because this is really one of the special places that's left on the planet that makes us self-reflect on the ways we used to live back in the day. Wow, just look at this. This is a giant shell midden where humans used to live here for over 150,000 years. And you can see how beautifully it's layered. And this is all like rubbish and flint and stone and bones and seashells just everywhere. And these things are something that humans consumed hundreds of thousands of years ago. It's amazing. You can see how the layering system can tell us exactly what was happening in a particular period, and we can see what kind of seashells were available in that particular period. It's amazing that humans lived here for so many years, and that we can actually see it through the layering system. Magnificent. And now animals have come back in. Humans have moved off to the cities and have complicated their lives, where these animals have a beautiful open viewpoint of the beautiful ocean and nature all around here, and kind of protected. So it's a perfect place for us to hunt down the snake. Oh, snake! And it's a big brown house snake. It is a big brown house snake. Look at this. Just like I knew, they love lying under big logs. Look at the size of the snake. Let's put his home down nicely. Look at this. Wow! Jeez, I feel like a small child now. This is my dream snake. And this is a particularly big and healthy specimen. Full of all battle scars. I could see a big scar, something pecked him, a bird or something on the back of the neck, and some battle scars all along the body. Look at that beautiful mother of pearl shine. Yes, that's a beautiful specimen. You can see tip of his tail is missing. So this guy's been through a lot of battles. Yes, that's incredible. Trying to get his head a bit closer. You can see he's got those nocturnal eyes, cat-like eyes. So this guy's a constricting snake, and he squeezes his prey, throws his coils around, and he squeezes his prey and then swallows them whole. Look how gentle he is. Oh, that's such a beautiful snake. And he's just sniffing me, checking me out. Who's this guy? And I'm nice and warm, so he's trying me out, feeling my skin. Oh, and they always smell so pleasant. The brown house snakes don't really secrete any bad smells. They're not really aggressive at all, especially once again, these older specimens have been through so many battles. They settle quite quick and easy. Look at that. Look how beautiful he is. Now the brown house snake is the most common non-venomous snake found in southern Africa, and they specialize in catching rodents. So these guys are great rodent control. And now we find them right here where the ancient man used to live in the archaeological site. So even back then, 100,000, 200,000 years ago, these snakes would have been around here controlling the rodents, because obviously with all these things that people throw around here, from old debris to old vegetative products, from bulbous roots, the rodents would have been here on the outskirts hunting them, eating those things, and these brown house snakes would have been around hunting those rodents. Incredible. Still today you can find them. It's always such a privilege to find such a beautiful specimen. Even though he's so scarred, it means he's lived a tough life, but he's made it. To get to this size, the snake would be easily 10 years old. So, you know, he survived from a tiny little baby all the way to this age. It's a very tough life for a snake, because you don't have any parental supervision or help at all. You have to make it on your own from the day you hatch out of your egg. You can see that beautiful head. They've got these two little white lines on the side of their face. It's not very predominant on this older specimen. And also the colorations on these snakes vary quite a lot, from yellowish brown to really dark brown to almost black in some of the specimens. So you don't normally go by color. But look at that beautiful white mother of pearl shine on the stomach. They're an egg-laying snake, so the female will lay eggs, and she'll lay up to 12 or so eggs. And those will hatch out, and those little babies will be completely on their own. But a real magnificently gentle snake. And this was my first pet snake as this young boy. And if I could find a brown house snake, it would make my year. Look at him, he just wants to keep coming back and checking out what's going on. Such a sweet snake, man. Such a sweet snake. Look at that. Give him a little rub. Look how calm he's sitting there, how chilled out he is. It's such a beautiful animal. You like that, eh? Shame, you got quite a scar there on the back of your head. I'm so glad we found such a nice, big, healthy specimen. Even though he's quite scarred, he's lived a tough life. Lots of little battle wounds, as you can see. There's another big gash, but nothing took his life. He made it. So gentle. Look at it, it's almost like a pet snake instantly. So that's what's incredible about these house snakes, how they calm down so quickly. And he's just sleeping under that log waiting for night time. But like I said, on overcast days, rainy days, you can find them out and about moving. Just sniffing with that tongue. It almost looks like a little python. If you look at the head shape, it's got that little python shaped head. So we always used to call them little pythons when we were younger. They also constrict the prey just like a python. Yeah, and he's got a little bit of, looks like he's got some damage to this one eye as well. Check how he turned his head to check out. Not yet to harm you. Look at that. Look at the length of the snake. I mean, he is big. It's over a meter. Sure. I'll put him down to my leg. It's the length of my leg. I'm 186, so that is a big specimen. What a privilege once again. I always feel so honored to be able to work with an animal that's been around for so many millions of years, that's living on an ancient archaeological site, has had a complex relationship with nature for all these millions of years, and still today, in our chaos of a world that we've created as humans, we can still find these guys living out in peace in these remote areas. It's magnificent, and we as Homo sapiens have had a complex relationship with snakes from the day we discovered how to make fire and live in big communities together. Because obviously a venomous snake could kill you back in the day before anti-venom, but this was a harmless snake. And to work that out would have been quite a complicated task to find out what snake is venomous and what's not. So you had to go through a lot of trial and error. But this one has always been a peaceful, harmless snake, and only really harmful to the rodents that it catches. And it's not really greedy either. It only takes what it needs. I'm going to put him back so he can relax. This snake can probably live for another 10 years. They can squeeze out a 20-year existence, but generally like 10 to 15 years is a good life for a house snake like this. But let's hope he's got another 10 years left in him. I'm going to put him back under his log. Wow, another great find again, and such a magnificently beautiful place. There's still hope for us.